time you don't know how to start your own podcast.
Never do. Welcome everybody to the Geek Reloading podcast. I'm your host this week, Josh, and with me is my lovely wife, Mindy.
Hello.
So this podcast, we're doing another top 5 list episode. We stole this idea from our wonderful friends at Oh My Gosh Geeks podcast. They do it better than us. So
they've got the format down better than we do.
Yeah. Ours went really long last time we did this, and so
yeah. We planned for like 3 different top 5 lists and we got through 1 each.
Yeah. So we're gonna try and do a little bit better this time and get through 2 each if possible. But
we'll have to see.
We'll see. Maybe we like it better where we just talk about our own top 5 list and just one each time.
And hopefully listeners like it too. I don't know.
What? We have listeners?
I listen.
Well, yes. My wife is very nice to me. She listens. So, all right. So, I think this time we should have you start off.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. I have my top 5 good things that have happened from us being in quarantine for almost the last year.
Yeah, so we record this around February of 2021, so we're on the other side of quarantine, hopefully.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Hopefully, you know.
However, by the time this airs, whenever it airs, we're both going to have our second dose
Of the vaccine.
Because
so if we're zombies or vampire zombies, I think that's I Am Legend, vampire zombies.
Yeah.
If we're zombies, well, you were right not to get it if you're listening to this.
Yeah, and I'm still feeling good about getting it.
Okay, we're not going to go into that. So,
anyway, my top 5 good things that have come from quarantine.
Okay.
And I accept the fact that I am a very privileged person, and I haven't had anyone close to me get super affected by COVID. And I didn't lose my job, and you didn't lose your job, you know. So, obviously...
We've been very fortunate.
Yes, we're very fortunate, and I'm very privileged. However, these are some things as an introvert that I thought people might appreciate. Because I appreciate them.
Yes.
Okay. So, number 5 is actually for Josh, and that is bread. Now,
I don't know why I've got this obsession with homemade bread. Probably from my grandma. She used to make really good one. But I've always wanted Mindy to make bread. And she used to a little bit. And then she was like, no, I'm not making bread for you. Like
we have a bread maker. Just make your own damn bread.
Yeah. Like, let's just go buy it at the store. It's tasty. No. Like, you're weird about this. And I'm like, you were right. I am weird about this.
Yeah. Yes, he is weird about it. And I think his overall enthusiasm for bread kind of pushed me like, nah, I'm going the complete opposite way. I am going to spend an entire year trying to make French macaroons. I'm not going to try and make bread.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't really care for these.
Anyway.
2021
or 2020 and being, quarantine, or not necessarily quarantine, but socially distanced, and so staying at home. Made me realize, okay, I guess I'll make bread. It'll be fine. And so, not just bread, but like bread byproducts, like cinnamon rolls.
Like naan, like
naan. I have a sourdough starter now.
Yes.
From Dr. Tommy from the Oh My Gosh Geeks podcast.
Yes, he gave us, and its name is Hans, from Hans Gruber.
Yep.
So...
and so now I'm making all kinds of sourdough byproducts, and so
sourdough pancakes were delicious.
I'm gonna do pizza dough maybe tomorrow.
Ooh.
Anyway, I feel like a lot of people have learned to do some kind of baking that they never did before, and I would have never done bread had I not had any other excuse.
Yeah. I kind of got her into a corner that way.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4, good thing from quarantine. You kind of see people's true colors. You kind of see those people that you were kind of friends with, but you didn't really know why. But now you understand why you don't want to be friends with them because they're having COVID parties. And you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm getting you.
COVID parties?
Okay, any
gathering
of people that's not, masked or distanced, and especially inside.
Okay, that,
You know?
that I was like wondering if that was like a theme. Like,
No,
oh
I
yeah,
mean-
you're having a COVID party.
Well, I mean, I did hear rumors of people, wanting to have a COVID parties like they used to have, like, if you got chicken pox, you'd have people. Like, this is like when we were kids and like when our parents were kids. Like,
everyone gets it.
everyone gets it. Get it over with, exactly. And so I know of people who were like, oh, we'll just do that for COVID. I don't know.
Wow,
Anyway.
like that would be really rough to be like, because I've seen some of the COVID patients up at the U, and that would suck to be like, hey, I volunteered for this. I went to a party so I could get it.
I mean, and there's always stories on Twitter or Facebook, and take those with a grain of salt. But it's like people's last Facebook posts were talking about how they didn't believe COVID was a thing, and they went to a house party, and then he got COVID, and then he died from COVID.
Yeah.
So
I read a couple of those.
Yeah, I mean, and some of them could be fabricated or like super exaggerated, but the core of it is still there. I feel like it has opened my eyes to the people that I never quite knew I was friends with, but now I understand that in a deeper level. It's like,
you understand the people. Mm-hmm. You're making better choices, or like more educated choices about the people you're spending time with.
Exactly. And
that's fair.
Like, I understand everybody is restless and everybody wants to travel, and I feel like if you want to take that risk and be on an airplane, good for you. Just be careful. Wear your mask.
Don't complain about it. Don't get kicked off the plane because you're not willing to wear a mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Cool.
Number 3 kind of goes along the same lines. It's a built-in excuse to not hang out with people. It's like
the introvert has spoken. Like
the introvert has spoken, for real. There have been times where I miss people, but more times than not. And it's like those friends, those quote-unquote friends that are going out to bars and everything. I don't want to hang with you. I'm not going to spread the disease.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't. I mean, it's my civic duty to not do this, so I can't go out with you.
I interact with a lot of people at work. Josh interacts with a lot of people at work. We don't want to put you in danger.
That is true. We use that excuse a lot for a long time.
Fairly soon, we're both going to be vaccinated, so that excuse is out the window.
Kind of, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the introvert is definitely spoken on that.
That is definitely the introvert, my wife.
I'm gonna say number 2, good thing to come from quarantine, and it didn't come specifically from quarantine, but I think the popularity hit because of it, and that is Among Us.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it was out for a couple of years before,
exactly,
and then
because it was a way to bring people together to play an interactive game that wasn't expensive
and
or
it was
high tech.
Simple enough that anyone could pick it up.
Exactly. So I say this because we have a bi-monthly, I guess, every other week. Zoom, pretty much it's a standing Zoom meeting for Among Us with my brother's family, my nephews, and my mom.
And it's ridiculous.
And her husband. It's
so
ridiculous.
Funny.
I mean, especially because it's on Zoom, so you have to be careful how you're looking in the webcam, because they're trying to look you down in the eyes and be like, did you kill me? Things like that. But it's so fun. My 4-year-old nephew plays. I mean, he does not have a poker face to save his life, so it's
but he makes up for it, as in, you killed me, when he is the one doing the killing.
Exactly. And my mom plays it, and she's ridiculous as well, so
she is.
So
and I was really surprised that Paige is really good.
She's a really good imposter.
She is amazing.
Yeah.
And anytime I get partnered up with her, I'm like, yes, everyone's going down.
Good time. Yeah. Anyway, so I think that is something that's really good. I mean, because we see them, I interact with those family members, well, for any family members, more now via Zoom than I would if we weren't needing to distance and things like that.
Yeah, and because it's easier and it's simple and it's fun.
Exactly. And it's an hour and a half out of your day, as opposed to going over there and then feeling like you can't leave.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just with anybody though.
Introvert.
Yeah, I know. And then my number 1 reason, and again, this shows my introvertness, is masks. I love wearing a mask in public. I love that people can't recognize me. It's so delightful.
Yeah?
It's so delightful. People do not bother you. You have headphones, you have a mask. People are not bothering you at the grocery store. It's amazing.
That is a good point.
It is amazing. Also, I work in an office setting with patients, and, you know, they can't see the total disdain in my face if half of it is covered.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you have those people that say, oh, I don't know how my glasses are bent this 90-degree angle. All I did was take them off my face. And you're like, really? What am I supposed to do with this?
Sorry, you've got broken glasses now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
See, and my big thing is if people don't like wearing masks, get a better mask. Like, if you've got a crappy mask, you're not going to like wearing it.
That's fair.
But, you know, get a good mask. Get something that fits. Get something that's comfortable, and then wear your mask.
Also, we've been significantly less sick.
Yeah.
Because of masks. Because we're wearing masks in public and at work and everything.
Yeah.
So, hey.
And wash your hands.
I don't hate masks.
Well, there we go.
Anyway, that was my silly little top 5.
Oh, wow. All right.
And yours?
Well, I challenged myself. Like, I mean, it's not important like that, but I took the time to figure out my top 5 favorite video games.
Of ever.
Like, that I could remember, that I could really think about, like, come to understand. Like, I really thought about this, and, you know, I probably missed some that I really loved, but they're not coming to mind, so obviously they're not my favorite.
Okay.
So, so my number 5 is the game I'm kind of playing, keeping my mind busy with, is Mindustry. And I play it on Steam, and I play it on my tablet, and it's just fun, and it's you know. Yeah,
what is it? I see you play it, and I'm like, that reminds me of this other game you like to play. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. It is resource management and gathering tower defense game.
Okay.
And so you have waves of enemies, and you gotta, you know,
take care of them.
Defend your core to, you know, with that. But you have to gather materials, and the more materials you get, you have to combine them to do different things. And
it's kind of like that game I was playing earlier. Oh. That's just a silly fun game.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, yeah. But yeah, it's fun, it's enjoyable. I don't have to think about it. I can listen to a book while I play it.
Is this recency bias, though? Because you've been playing it a lot lately.
I've been playing it a lot, but I'm playing it a lot because it just got a huge update.
Okay.
And so it is a lot better than it was.
Got it.
So.
Okay.
It's just a lot of the... Like, it wasn't a game that you could keep playing for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. Like, we got through it, my friend James and I, we got through it pretty quick. And then it was like, okay, now what? And it was just kind of like, there wasn't really much more to do. There's a lot more to do, and there's a lot more to work with and work on. So, and the progression is a lot better. Mm-hmm. It's not over and done within a night. It's hours and hours of work now.
Got it.
Love it. Anyways.
Okay. Number 4?
So, number 4 is BioShock.
The original or the series?
I don't think it's fair to say the series, because that would be the easy way out. I was thinking about it, and it was a kind of almost a tie between BioShock and BioShock Infinite. Mm-hmm. But really, like, the first one, that just... everything about it was just amazing. It was so just... I remember just walking around and looking at stuff, like clearing out the enemies because I was scared to death.
Yeah, that is a kind of a spooky kind of game for you. There's a lot of jumping.
Yeah, and so I would clear out the enemies in an area, and then I would just go and look around and look at stuff, and just...
The artwork is amazing in that game.
It is. It's just beautiful, and the story is just crazy, and it got me into some weird books. Like, I read a lot of Ayn Rand, where
yeah, you did.
Where you know, that story kind of came from, and you know, Ayn Rand was, you know, Andrew Ryan was the main.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah,
the morality choice in BioShock was really cool and like groundbreaking at the time.
I really wish they had done more with that, though. I think they kind of hedged their bets on that.
Yeah.
That you had the morality thing, but you didn't get...
It wasn't like a huge different outcome or anything.
Yeah, like, really not much of a difference at all, in my opinion. But, so yeah, I really love that game, and I still really do. I just... It is a lot for me to play, because I'm a little bit of a scared little girl when I play video games.
I remember when you played Infinite, you, got the weekend off, and you were ready to go. And, don't bother me, it's Infinite Day.
Yeah, I was really into it, and I was just like, whoa.
It's beautiful. That one's really pretty.
And I really like the connection of because I'm sitting there walking through in the beginning, and it's really beautiful, and I'm looking around, and Mindy was like, wait a minute, wait, is that a song? Wait a minute. And so we started listening, and I was like, that seems kind of familiar. And she's like, yeah, it's from the Beach Boys. And it's like, I was like, holy shit. And so, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was they had a lot of moments like that. And I really like that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, definitely BioShock.
Number 3?
Number 3 is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Wow.
I really like the mechanic of taking over the animals and everything, the robots, I guess. And then I really the story just really got to me. The way it unfolded, the way it was opened up, and how everything really was explained and justified, and how seeing all these things and seeing that story open and give you connections and ties to the characters. It was incredible to me. Anytime people are thinking anytime people say they don't really care for the storytelling of games, I'm like, you're playing the wrong games, because this is a better story than I've read books that are thousands of words or thousands of pages, and it still didn't have as good a story as this. So I really think that is one of the reasons why it's a favorite.
That makes sense. You haven't, it's just kind of shocking just because you haven't replayed it, and
I played it twice, and then I was like, okay.
I don't remember you playing it twice, and I just remember at the time you were bitching about the climbing mechanics, but
yeah,
comparisons.
And that was the thing, is as soon as I was trying to play it, I was playing it as a different game.
Yeah.
But the story was better than all other ones, and I love BioShock's story, but it still was better than that, I think.
Interesting.
So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2 is way back in the day to a PlayStation, Symphony of the Night, Castlevania.
Symphony of the Night. This is the flippy one.
Yes, this is where the castle flips, and it's one of those things why I was really impressed with this game, because I played it through and I was like, oh, that game was fun. That was a great Castlevania game. And then it was before the internets and all that.
Oh, I remember you said this on a podcast.
Yeah, it was.
Somebody told you about it.
Someone told me at a GameStop or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, you have to get these glasses. You have to wear it during the fight. And I was like, seriously? And so I played the game all over again, and all of a sudden, instead of getting, in the 90% of the game of unlocks, I got into almost to the 200s, and it just kept going. And then I found out later you can actually play as Richter. And so it was this giant game that I had fun with by far. It was 4 times that big.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
that's
wow. So that revelation of it growing so much bigger really got to me.
I remember you played that on the DS, or
played it on the
maybe Game Boy Advance. I can't remember something.
No, I think it was
it was a handheld of some
yeah,
sort.
it was the PS Vita, I think.
Oh, yeah, that would make more sense.
And then I played it again on my Xbox when it came on that, and I think I've bought this game 6 times.
It's worth it.
I love it, so I had to.
Okay, number 1.
Number 1, and this was one of the reasons why I was bitching about Horizon Zero Dawn, is because I played Breath of the Wild right before it, and the climbing and just the movement in that game is so perfect. I love Breath of the Wild, and I just want all open world games to be based off of Breath of the Wild. It's beautiful. It's solid. It's so...
You can glide everywhere.
Oh, the gliding mechanic is the best. It's so
and
nice.
You can climb everywhere, too.
Yeah, and they really doubled down on that stuff when they came out with the DLCs. Because they gave you stuff like a, warping area where you could warp to a high area that you got to. And so you didn't have to climb the area. You could just warp to it real quick and then jump off and get to pretty much wherever you wanted. Love that. Just the mechanic of the movement. Granted, I mean, I didn't like the weapon breaking system as much as anyone else, but it worked. And really, it would have been a little bit overpowered if you just had the Master Sword. And just the gameplay is different that way. And so I really liked it. It was fun. It had great progression. It had a lot of, it was a real open world. So
definitely. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. So.
All right.
So what do you think? Should we go on?
We can go on.
Let's go.
Okay. Sounds good. So my next top 5 list is top 5 icebreakers. And this is when you are trying to get to know someone. These are the questions that I have cultivated over years of hiring people and training people, of these are the ones that are going to teach you the most about a person, at least from my experience.
As an introvert,
these are the questions.
That's not used to that. It doesn't come natural.
Also, I don't like small talk, but this is small talk I can get behind.
Okay. All right.
Number 5. What's your Hogwarts house?
Oh, nice.
If you are remotely a Harry Potter fan, you're gonna at least know what I'm referring to when I say what's your Hogwarts house. And then
you can get some characteristics in what they want to be, or at least what they want to be, rather than what they are.
Exactly. So you know if they're a Harry Potter fan, what level of Harry Potter fan.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you also know those personality characteristics.
And what we've done is we kind of have a secondary house, all the characters really do.
Yeah.
And so you can say, oh, well, I'm Gryffindor, but I'm also, I'm part Hufflepuff.
And I'm a Ravenclaw, part Gryffindor.
Yeah. Okay. That is a great one. Yeah. That is a great one.
Number 4. If you could get any tattoo tomorrow, what tattoo would you get?
Wow. Okay.
Without giving, because this is a spontaneous thing. So Josh wants a tattoo and he's working for goals this year to get his tattoo. But if he got it tomorrow, if he had to get a tattoo tomorrow, what would he get tomorrow?
Oh, okay. That's interesting. That does say a lot.
And then this also says a lot about your population as far as well, I don't get tattoos. And they're okay. However, just, think about it. Yeah. And it usually tells about people's fandoms or their passions or, something.
What they care about. That's true.
So, yeah. Okay.
Nice. I like that one. Okay.
Yeah. Number 3. What's your favorite movie from your childhood?
From your childhood.
It sometimes we narrow it down to Disney.
Okay. Because that's simple and easy and
everyone can relate to Disney movies. However, I recently, within the last year, hired someone and she's like, I never watched Disney as a kid. And I was like, okay, well, that's telling me something right there.
Wait a minute. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Were you held hostage in your childhood?
But then...
Did you grow up in a commune?
But then she's like, well, I think my favorite movie as a kid was Hot Rod. And I was like, okay, that says something about you too. So...
Yeah? Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So it does say a lot. Yeah.
Okay. And I know who you're talking about. And that's sad.
That's funny. So what would be your favorite movie from your childhood?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. There's so many. I just...
How about Disney movie then?
I really liked Aladdin. Mm-hmm. I really liked Aladdin.
It also tells you about somebody's age.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
People our age, they're like, Aladdin, Lion King. Bring it. That's it.
I think Aladdin was one of the first movies that I really remembered in the theater that I really liked.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right.
So that's my number 3. Number 2. Now, this is usually tailored to females because the people in my industry are females. So it's who's your favorite, or what Disney princess do you think you are most like?
Well, I mean, I've married a Belle.
Exactly. Yeah,
So.
that's easy. Like, but, you know, you say, oh, Belle, well, we know what she's like. She likes to read. She's an introvert. She's kind of bossy. It's fine.
But she's also intelligent.
Yes.
Well-read. And...
For men, you can say, what comic book hero are you most like?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Because even, and you could go even further, like video game character, right? But if you're just talking about getting to know somebody, you don't know if they're a gamer.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
But comic book movies are pretty universal. Everybody's going to know. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So,
okay.
So yeah, I'm a Belle. You're a Captain America. Done. That says everything about us.
I feel more boring, but also I can't really argue that. But yeah.
And then number 1. Best icebreaker. This is going into my Harry Potter fandom a little bit. However, this is how I explain it. Very briefly. In the 6th book of Harry Potter, there is a love potion in their class. It consists of their 3 favorite smells. What's your love potion?
What does it smell like?
What does it smell like? Give me your 3 favorite smells.
And I actually changed Mindy's mind on that. On one of her smells. Because I said, I don't even remember what I said with the other 2, but I did say the smell right before it rains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
you said wood?
Yeah.
Like freshly cut wood.
Fresh cut wood.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the 3rd one.
See, now this should be just like embroiled in you. You should know this. Mine
maybe bread.
Oh, no, not bread.
Maybe bread. I just have to put it out there.
Mine are sunscreen, because you put on sunscreen and something good is happening. You're going to the beach. You're going to Disneyland. You're going to be outside. You're going to go camping, whatever.
Go to the pool.
Yeah. Sunscreen. Sunscreen is a great smell.
Nice. I like that.
The rain smell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. And new books, like opening up the spine of a book, cracking the spine of a book, sniffing right in the middle. Such a good smell.
Ink and, paper. Cool.
Ink and paper.
Yeah, it works. Hey, it works. I'm not arguing.
Yeah. Anyway.
Nice. Okay.
Those are my icebreaker questions.
Those are good icebreakers.
Uh-huh.
And you learn a crap load. And
exactly.
we've used both of those. Yeah, growing up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is a good top 5 list.
Thank you. What's your next one?
All right. Because I'm boring, obviously. I went with my top favorite mobile games.
Okay. What are you defining as a mobile game?
A game that is on a phone or tablet.
Okay.
So, Android or Apple, not handheld.
Not handheld.
No, because
cause,
that's kind of
yeah.
You could, and a lot of stuff is cross-platform now, and yeah. So I figured, absolutely actual phone game.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So, I was looking through my list of apps that I have connected to my phone and all that, and this is what I came up with.
All right.
And see, I was thinking we were going to do these together, but then see where we were different. But I just did my own. Fine. So
I could have done that. You didn't tell me to.
I know I didn't. This is my fault. I know it is. Yeah, it is. So my 5th one is Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go is so great. I mean, I remember that summer.
It was amazing.
It was so fun. We were walking everywhere. Everyone was like a big community.
Everyone was so nice. You just what team are you? It was automatically if you were that same team, that's awesome. If you weren't, that's still cool. You're still both out catching cool Pokemon.
Exactly. And I remember we used to go to these late night Pokemon Go parties at the library.
COVID nightmares.
COVID nightmares, but this was in 2016.
Yeah, if it was still that. Well,
but yeah, the local library had like 3 Pokestops and a couple of gyms, and like everybody would go there on the weekends and the evenings after the library had closed, and it was just like, we're gonna walk around, we're gonna get these Pokestops, we're gonna battle some gyms. There's amazing Pokemon everywhere because there's a lot of people.
There's a million people there.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and they're all like super nice. They're all like, hey, there's a, there's
an Onyx over here, and yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. We went to one of the outdoor shopping malls where we just walked back and forth.
Yeah, and you could tell the people who were playing Pokemon, even if you didn't say anything, because they were doing the same thing you were.
And you were walking back and forth, and then finally, like, you start walking kind of closer together, and hey, there's a Pikachu over there, and you start talking, and all of a sudden you have friends.
Exactly.
Like, weird.
Yeah, that's the kind of friend. I mean, as an introvert, that's what I could get behind.
Yeah, that's the easy single serve friending.
Exactly. Exactly. Go. Yeah.
So. No, number 4 is Fallout Shelter. Mm-hmm. I played that a long time, and I've played with the idea of going back.
Yeah.
It's just a lot, I think.
That's just the one with the guys in the rooms.
Yeah,
you're
building
tasks.
You're building your vault, and then you can send people out in the wasteland, and but yeah, it was just fun. It was just kind of like a little management tool, and you
love those management games.
You could get people to have sex. It was funny.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a good one. Number 3 is Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh, that was my shit.
Like, seriously, the first one was just amazing. Like,
I think we got iPod Touches for Christmas that year. And so
we did.
Both like...
We're both just playing Plants vs. Zombies next to each other.
Exactly.
It was so fun. Like, you just start playing it in different ways. And
yeah,
that was a good one. So number 2 is one that no one really knows about. It's a little app called Slay. Mm-hmm. Mindy calls it the jumping jack game.
It's just like these little guys doing jumping jacks every time I looked. It's like grayscale, but I'm sure you can pick your scale.
You can pick colors. But it's this little hexagonal map where you start in these little... You're pretty much trying to take over the majority of the land. And so... You start out with, I think they're actually got like character names. Like you start out with a farmer, and the farmer can move to an open space, or you can put 2 farmers together to make a spearman.
That is literally the game I was playing earlier. That you're like, this is a weird game.
Well, no, like it's more of like territory control and stuff. Like you have to protect your own territory while taking over others. So it's just. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but yeah, like the people that haven't used their move yet, they do little jumping jacks to let you know that they're
ready to go.
Yeah, and so every time Mindy looks over, I've got little jumping jack guys.
Yeah,
so
jumping jack game.
Yeah, so Slay.
Slay.
I suggest. I mean, I think it's a paid app. I think it's like $3, and I think everyone should buy it because it's amazing.
You definitely have gotten your pay's worth.
Honestly, like, so they have map lists. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's A through Z. They have map lists, and it's just like random names. I don't think I've gotten past the Fs.
Wow.
Like, they get much harder as you go. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like, and some of them are tiny, some of them are huge, like, and yeah, it's just so much fun. So anyways, yeah, so
you haven't played that jumping jack game for a while.
No, because I've got the number 1 right now, and that's Mindustry.
You've already talked about that.
I've already talked about it. I'm boring that way, but it was making me think of other games to play on my phone and stuff, and I'm in a position at work where I've got a little bit more time to myself, so I was needing games, and this Mindustry is definitely my game of choice right now.
It's got that big update.
Yeah, it really, like, the big update was just amazing. It changed the whole progression and everything, so it's been super fun to play lately. So yeah, so that is our list. That wasn't too long, but
not too bad.
Yeah, so thank you for listening. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you, my beautiful wife, for joining me on the podcast.
Of course.
Yeah, all of our information is at the end. And thanks.
Bye.
Geek Reloading Podcast with Adam and Josh. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Have a question? Email us at geekreloading@gmail.com. Theme song titled Rocket by Kevin MacLeod. You can rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on your preferred podcast service.